You are listening to the Icehouse Podcast, hosting conversations with gritty Kiwi business owners and leaders and industry-leading minds.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Icehouse Podcast. Super cool to have Harrison Levien with me today. He has done our sales skills workshop really recently, this year, 2023. And he works for an awesome alumni company, BYL Livestock. They're based in the Waikato. And he has been going on a journey with his sales leadership and ability. And so we're going to have a chat today to learn more about Harrison, what he's passionate about and how he found the workshop. So thanks heaps for your time today.
No worries. Thank you.
All good. Cool. Well, we like to start with some fun quick fire. And so let's get into it. I would love to ask a question. When are you most relaxed?
Mainly probably, is this not in a business sense, just in a business sense?
No, just in a life sense.
Sorry. Just probably when I'm doing one of my hobbies. I enjoy sort of the outdoors. So yeah, that's probably when I'm most relaxed.
Awesome. Yeah. And what about when you're most productive?
When I'm organized. Yeah, definitely. When I'm organized and everything's clear.
Yeah. Great answer. What does a day in the life of Harrison look like? Walk us through that.
Weekly, it's quite varied in this role. Could be doing anything from looking at sort of 4 or 5 day old calves up to looking at stock that's ready to go to the works for people to purchase on the shelf, really. It's definitely varied, or to going through dairy herds and doing herd selections and stuff like that. It's all changing.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm looking forward to hearing more about that very soon. But first, book or podcast that you recommend?
I mainly only sort of listen to podcasts for a bit of leisure. The Educated Hunter, I sort of listen to them a bit, but that's about it really. Just a few sort of stuff like that, just hobby-wise. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. I'm going to throw in another one. What's your favorite place in the world?
Oh, that's a tough one. New Zealand's pretty awesome as a whole. The South Island's very beautiful. I've done a few trips down there. I think the remote parts of New Zealand I enjoy quite a bit. Yeah.
Very cool. Nice. Cool. I would love to hear just a bit about yourself and your journey and what that looks like. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're passionate about?
So I'm passionate about the outdoors. I'm definitely passionate about the role I'm in, about the agriculture and farming side of things. I quite enjoy all that. That's pretty much it, really. About my family as well, I suppose. Yeah.
How did that passion for agriculture come about?
So I'm from a rural community. I didn't grow up on a farm. My parents didn't grow up on a farm. All my close mates always spent a lot of time, weekends and school holidays and stuff like that. And I suppose that's where it sort of grew. My passion for sort of the idea of agricultural and farming side of things.
Yeah. Awesome. And then how did the job come about for you with this company?
Yeah, so I always had the idea that I'd like to go be a farmer.
Cool.
But I think the process from me to one day owning a farm was going to be quite a big thing to do, especially in the role. I find it quite hard to sort of build up enough backing to one day buy a bit of block. So I thought, if I take that pressure away and sort of work somewhere else in the agriculture industry. I worked as for a major company, Silver Fern Farms, when I first left school as a cadet with them.
Great, yeah.
And then later that's progressed to my journey with BYL. So yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. And when I did a bit of research about you, I learned that you're a New Zealand Rugby player, which is super cool. How awesome. That's super fun. I when I read that, I was like, I wonder if he has noticed any similarities in, the world of professional rugby or high level rugby, and the world of business. Does anything align for you in those two worlds?
Yes, and yeah, it sort of does, I suppose. I think it probably develops your character more than anything, being in the rugby world.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like with rugby, it can just change like that, whether through selection or not. So I think, you just got to do what's best for yourself in situations, I think that's sort of what you learn. Sort of business-wise, the decision where you leave a team to go to another team or stuff like that. So, yeah.
Totally. Yeah, it's been interesting, like even just through doing the podcast, noticing like sort of a connection between elite sport and business, like just like you said, the character building, the resilience, and all those different elements that probably you naturally bring into a role like this as well. So that's really cool to hear. Tell us a little bit about the business in general and your role as a livestock agent. For those that have no idea, what does that look like?
So with BYL, we're a predominantly Waikato-based company, but we operate nationwide. My area is in the South Waikato. I'm based in Rotorua. We specialise in sheep, beef, and the dairy industry. So you're sort of servicing everything to do with that business and that farm, or trying to. So it can be, like I said, day to day, it is quite varied, and how that farm practices. You can be doing everything such as small as facilitating cull cows to go to the works, but I suppose we're almost like a real estate agent for sheep and cattle. It's probably
a good way to put it.
way to describe it. So we're buying and selling, through sheep, beef, and the dairy industry. Yeah. So
that's such a great way to put it. A real estate agent. I love that. People go, okay, yeah, cool. What do you really enjoy about your role? And we'll start there. What do you enjoy about your role the most?
I definitely enjoy getting around this job. We do quite a bit of traveling. So
cool.
I definitely enjoy traveling around, seeing other people's farms and meeting new people. I think that's a really cool thing. Most people, like us in New Zealand, are really good buggers, as we would describe them. So it is quite cool to get along and have a good chin wag with someone and help facilitate what needs they need. I think that's probably a cool thing about it. So.
Totally. Yeah, I love that most people's favorite part is the people, is just being able to meet some really cool people along the way. So it's cool to hear. What about, on the other hand, a challenging element of your role?
For me, I'm still quite new to the industry. I've been almost sort of haven't quite done 2 years with BYL now, or just gone 2 years, I think. So for me, my biggest challenge at this stage is sort of developing my niche in the role, whether specialising, sort of go down the track of being more a dairy specialist. So for me, that's my biggest challenge at this stage, is sort of trying to be, trying to get people to call me as well as they see me as a dairy specialist, and sort of stomping my mark in my area as well. I think that's my biggest challenge.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, makes complete sense. What motivates you and what you do, in that sense of purpose, in your job, but maybe even like deciding to become a specialist in the dairy side of it? What motivates you in that space?
In the Waikato, it's predominantly dairy farming as well. And I think what motivates me is, like, at the end of the day, I'm just essentially trying to help people. Cool. Obviously it is a business, and same with any business, money is also a motivation. But I think for me is just getting around and helping people, and people actually want you, to come to the farm and, and stuff like that. I think just developing, like I've always had a bit of a passion for farming. I think biggest thing for me is understanding a bit more. That's what's motivating me.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that makes complete sense. That's really cool. And then changing gears a little bit to, the Icehouse side of things. How did you first hear of the Icehouse?
So being new to sales, I sort of pondered the idea to my manager and director of the company, Bryce and Jimmy, that I'd be open to doing a sales course to just develop my skills.
Cool.
So Bryce, the director of the company, he went on the owner management program.
Yeah, great.
So he went through that with the Icehouse, and Jimmy, our manager, he went through the leadership development program. And that was sort of how it started. They said they got a lot out of it, and it was good. It was good people on the courses as well, and they run really well. So yeah.
Cool. And how did you find it? So this was only like maybe a couple months ago or a month ago. How did you find the workshop? Yeah,
it was awesome. Yeah, it was definitely a lot to take out of it. And I think for me, some people, it's all, all sort of at different levels on that sort of course. It's a bit of a reminder and a bit of a touch up for some people. But for me, being completely new to this sort of role, it was a lot to take in. So it's for me trying to prioritize at this stage what I want to focus on immediately and revisit some of the other notes that I wrote down. Yeah. And what else I can do. Yeah.
Totally. So you came up to Auckland for it, and it was over 2 days. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Did you sort of get to chat to some of the people in your cohort, your group that you did the workshop with?
Yes. Yeah. No, I did. Yeah. So similar, like quite varying roles that were on the course as well. So it was quite good. Like, you think it is a big difference in what you're doing, but essentially at the end of the day, it's not massive. A massive difference in what you're trying to achieve, I suppose, depending on what you're facilitating, whatever business they're in. But yeah.
Totally. And was there anything that you're like, okay, this is the first thing I need to try implement or try work on? Was there any key takeaways?
Yeah, I think the big one for me is, they called it like a call plan. So for me, whether on the phone to clients or meeting them in person, is we sort of had one with prior to going to this course. But I think it just radiates a point in how important it is. Like, you're not missing out key questions, and having that plan and learning it. You're gonna be asking the right questions. I'm not gonna miss out on something, even because I am genuinely interested in what's happening there, but it just makes sure you're not sort of gonna miss anything out. Yeah.
Great. Before going on the program or before walking in, did you have any hesitations? Like with the owner manager program, I can laugh with some of the alumni that they felt like their first day there was like their first day of school all over again. Workshops are a little bit different because it's a couple of days. But did you have any hesitations or feelings around that?
Yeah, like definitely a little bit of, not hesitation, but just like being a little bit apprehensive. Like it's new, it's something new. It's like anything new, but it was, like you said, a little bit going to school again, but it was good. Like, it's only the first 5-10 minutes, and then you're all settled in, you're ready to go. But yeah, no, that was awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, I love to hear that. And Jamie is such a great facilitator as well. He just has a way of sort of making hard things come across easy and really easy to digest. So I'm glad to hear you really enjoyed it. Would love to hear, just sort of as we wrap this podcast episode up, would love to hear, what excites you about the year ahead, within your role, but also within the industry you're in?
I think the exciting thing for me at this stage is the growth I can still do. So I'm still in my growth stage. And I think that's quite exciting. And I think that's the biggest thing for me. Is what excites me is, I can still keep growing. You're always constantly learning every day. If you're not learning, then there's not many people that know everything. So
absolutely. So true. Yeah. And what about the industry? Where do you think the industry is heading in the next couple of years?
It's quite positive. There has been a little bit of change recently with that will affect our farmers and us as well as agents. The live export has changed. So I think it's also looking as what other solutions and what other business avenues people can go down. So I think that's that'll be one of the bigger challenges as well for farming in New Zealand.
Totally. Impacting many for sure. But it sounds to me that you just love to learn and you love to just discover new things, put yourself in new environments and just sort of lap it all up. And so it sounds like that was your experience with, the Icehouse workshop, but also just your day-to-day within the business and in your personal world too. So very cool. I love that.
Cheers.
But thank you so much, Harrison, for sharing your story and your experience. We love being able to chat with people across different industries, different regions, different experience levels, because we know that it will relate to someone listening. So appreciate you and your time.
No, awesome. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for your time.